In this video, we're going to the largest vintage party in Las Vegas. I'm talking 40s and 50s vintage.
Ready for that tiki party?
A vintage-filled weekend complete with a tiki pool party, a car show, and pinups as far as the eye can see, otherwise known as Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas, or Viva for short, now hosts up to 20,000 people every year. People fly in from every continent for the Rockabilly jive dancing, vintage fashion, and one of the biggest classic car shows in the United States. This is on top of more than 100 live bands over 4 nights. Viva has even hosted Wanda Jackson, Jerry Lee Lewis, the Stray Cats, and the iconic Chuck Berry on their stages. This is the vintage Rockabilly scene on full display. And of course, being into the 40s and 50s, this event was a can't miss for Jose and I. So let's fly out to Las Vegas to get the party started.
As soon as we got to the Orleans, we ended up at the vendor floor. Day one is the best day for those rare vintage finds, so if you're serious about your vintage as soon as the vendors open, get in there.
So let's go shopping.
I knew I didn't want to buy too much because my luggage was already stuffed, but I was still on the hunt.
I have a few things that I'm looking for. I'm looking for hair flowers, I'm looking for stockings, and I don't know, maybe something unique that stands out. I don't want to buy a bunch of stuff.
There are a lot of beautiful things for sale, like hats and loose-side bags, and even one of my favorite garments, hand-beaded wool cardigans. TLDR, don't bottomless mimosa in your vintage.
That's what happens when you get too drunk.
Hey!
The whole sales floor was packed. We found Rockabilly t-shirts, retro bathing suits, brooches, all kinds of accessories. Eventually I found what I'd been looking for though.
Does it go with the look? All right, let's do it. What do you think?
Looking good.
It's a little over the top, but I kind of love.
I also found a cute snood with a Mexican Loteria ribbon on it.
These are super cool.
And then before I could hand over the money, I was asked to dance in the middle of my purchase. Yes, I was serenaded on day one by a pachuco on the vendor floor.
De que pagaste mal a mi cariño tan sincero que no me nombrarán que nadie sepa mí.
Ay, no digas.
Those are the sort of things that happen at Viva.
Well, I got a suit and I got 2 hair flowers. I've yet to find leggings or stockings, but I did get a little bit of dance.
Of course, there was so much to see, including some beautiful paintings.
It's a love story. Look at them. Oh, how romantic. This is the type of love that I want in my life, Jose.
And tiki mugs, which are Jose and my favorite thing to collect. We wrapped up with the vendors by picking up some Viva merch and headed out back to our room to rest up for the next day.
All right, this is what we got. 1 sticker for Jose. The sticker, but as a patch for me. And then 2 shirts that I can't wait to wear. All right, let's get out of here.
Our first full day, we woke up and headed out for a breakfast of champions.
I just knew. I knew it that we were going to end up at the TGI Friday.
You gotta check this out.
Food options were actually pretty limited at the Orleans, so we did the best we could with a couple of mimosas and got on our way.
TGI Fridays.
First up, the Rockabilly fashion show in the auditorium, which was on the other side of the casino floor. We were there pretty early and was actually already packed with people all dressed up for the occasion.
Are you excited about this?
Absolutely.
As someone who has 20 plus years of sewing experience, check out our other videos. It's always fun to see modern riffs on 40s and 50s style.
It's going to be so much fun, and getting to see what designers today are doing is going to be really exciting.
Eventually the lights went down and host Dee Dee Cupcake took the stage.
What do you call a salmon in a bow tie? Sophisticated.
And with that bad dad joke, the show began. There were quite a few designers and so much representation in the models, which was really great. I really loved this male model who swaggered across the stage to Lowrider. But my favorites were the atomic style jumpsuits and robes from Kay Chula, who I've known through Instagram for a while. Also check out this cat who is just perfect and made my mascot loving heart so happy.
It was so fun, and it was so cool to see designs of people that I know online actually on the stage. It was just a lot of fun.
We left the fashion show early and headed upstairs for what would prove to be a challenging adventure, learning to bop and jive. Set up in the ballroom, beginners did their best to channel their inner rhythm and learn some moves.
1, 2, 3, go!
As for the dancing, half the time it was us being patient AF.
Right foot back, lift left. Twisting.
And learning the basics of Rockabilly jive. So you see how I'm not going along with everyone else? Jose was doing great, but he added a little extra spaghetti to his moves. Eventually it was time to piece it together and show off our moves.
1 and 2 and 1.
Y'all, it was a struggle and I was in denial.
It's not coming out, boy.
It's coming out. You have to lead, right? Yeah.
Let's start it all together.
Okay.
Ready?
Because I have to go with
Okay.
In the middle in neutral position. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2.
And remember how I wasn't dancing the tempo?
We gotta get the beat. I don't think we have the beat. Oh my gosh. That was fun. But also, I'm already sweating. Oh my gosh.
Eventually, the shoes came off.
Maybe if I take off the shoes.
It started to click the more we did it.
7, 8.
Even though it was hard, it didn't matter because we were having a blast. And as packed as the room was, no matter the skill level, everyone was laughing and having fun. Also, shout out to Rocco, who we met on the dance floor and improv'd as a follower. He was just generally a cool dude.
I'm the follower, and bro, I can't dance. I just realized I can't dance.
Check out his Insta, linked in the description. After lots of dancing, we decided to take a break and check out the tattoo area,
Tattoo studio it is.
which was actually set up in the Orleans buffet. They had tons of artists set up, and everyone had their flash out on display.
I like this one a lot too with the flamingo.
At Viva, the style tends to lean more American traditional, which is usually what you think when someone says Sailor Jerry.
Oh yeah, this is super cool.
There was tons of different designs, lots of beautiful art. Some were absolutely hilarious.
That's hilarious, but also terrible, but also kind of hilarious.
Some were triggering though.
Is that what I think it is?
Oh my gosh, that is insane.
You know, it is for Latino moms.
And some were not really monetization friendly.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Camera, pollo.
I went into the room without any tattoos to see if anything actually caught my eye.
So the real question is, are you feeling inspired?
Yeah, I think out of all the ones I saw, the ones that I liked the most were here.
The tiki inspired ones ended up being my favorite, and Jose tried so hard to make the sell.
Okay, I tell you what, Boya. I tell you what.
What's up?
If you like that one, and if they can make it small, I'll get this one with you.
Oh my gosh. What would you put here?
I mean, I do like that. VLV, Viva Las Vegas.
Unfortunately, right when we decided to go ahead and schedule getting a tattoo, my Apple Watch went off, and I'd realized I'd lost my phone.
My phone isn't here.
Okay.
I just got the notification on my phone.
Is it in the room? It's probably in the room, right?
No, because I just got the notification just now. So it might be upstairs. Can you run up there? I'll follow you.
And in a place like Viva, I was terrified I wasn't going to be able to find it. We ended up leaving the tattoo/buffet area and rushed through the casino floor and eventually to our room. And yes, we did find it.
Oh, look, my husband called me 10 minutes ago.
Oh, he's so lovely. Always
know.
checking up on you.
Shut up.
All right, can we go have fun again?
Yes, let's go have fun. Oh my gosh, me dio patatus.
While I got to celebrate, it meant we missed out on actually getting a tattoo, but here's to next time. So we decided to do a quick costume change and headed out across the casino floor to the auditorium again for the burlesque show.
So, are you excited about this one?
Absolutely.
We are on our way to the burlesque show.
The line is huge. It like goes down and around, even to just get inside. It's crazy.
If you've ever been to a burlesque show, it's basically a fun cabaret with people dancing on stage, being flirty, and taking their clothes off. Think more of a wink and a nod without being too suggestive, and the best performances are the ones with a cool theme or with some sort of extra flair. There was one performer who went full Jessica Rabbit, one that had a song woven into her act, and one that was giving me Big Bird in the best possible way. I actually really loved her energy a lot. She had a really fun costume. There were also male performers who had numbers between the different acts, and they were really nice transition points to bring them up. The audience really liked them. The hosts also looked like they were having a blast, which just generally added to the party vibes.
Has the fizz gone out of your shiz?
Babe, check it out.
Major shout out to this performer with a spinning bird cage, and the final performer who was just brilliant. She did a super suggested number to close out the show, and I loved her entire sparkly dress. It really fit her like a glove. We're hiding all the spicy bits, but rest assured the audience was eating it up. And the last little touch with the bathtub was just, it was just a lot of fun. Burlesque shows are great when they're well organized and they don't take themselves too seriously. A little inclusivity also goes a long way to show you what the community is all about. The night was still young, and it was time to head back upstairs for what was the most rowdy and fun time at Viva, the live music. We headed back to the ballroom, but this time we got to practice our moves with an actual band. And while my dancing didn't really improve, it just went for it. Somewhere in the mix, Jose also ran off and was able to film from the stage. I have no idea how he got up there, but the whole ballroom was just wild. The party went on for hours, and as we headed out and ran into a couple friends, the music was still going strong. And with that, day 2 was in the books. We headed back to the hotel room to get some rest and prep for day 3, or what I'm calling, you can fry an egg out there. Saturday at Viva is car show day, so we hyped ourselves up for the Vegas heat and got out there. The show is massive and it's got everything. Vendors, including some of the designers we saw on stage the day before.
Okay, chulas.
And plenty of pinup girls, some competing to be named Queen of the Car Show for the year. We also saw someone who had made a dress out of recycled bags from previous Viva years. I can't even imagine what went into that.
That's amazing. You see it? That dress is so cool. Way to upcycle all the freebie bags.
Outside of the heat, you can really spend hours out there wandering around, people watching, dancing along to the music, and of course, sipping a cold beer. But we were out there for one thing and one thing only, to get a pinup photo next to a cool car, preferably a red one.
That one there, it looks just like tomato soup.
That one?
This one here, look at that. This is super nice.
There are so many cars and they all had their own personality.
Here's another car that can't go through the bumps.
But look how long it is.
It is huge.
I'd be worried about getting it chipped. Damn.
And some reminded us of someone back home.
Whose cola does it look like?
Yucas.
Exactly.
That's a fucking yuca cola.
You wouldn't think so, but finding a red car was actually kind of tough.
Nothing red here.
No red.
And when we did find a red car, the combo of location, people in the background, and the heat were just too much for what we were looking for.
So I want you to pose next to it. Is that cool? Pero ven acá, ven acá.
Oh, it's hot, dude. It's hot as hell. And I'm melting and starting to get a headache from being outside in the heat.
The headache was real. We ended up having to migrate to the shade to cool off and get ourselves together again.
Oh my god. Yo, it's fucking hot, dude. Like, no good. I mean, I knew it was gonna be pretty bad. That's why I wore the Converse. But I think it shocks me every time. Every time I'm completely taken off guard by how hot it is here. We've barely been out here an hour.
But we were determined. We wanted a cool photo, so we sat out for a few more minutes, checked some water, and headed back out there.
As much as I like this little car here, there's another car too close, so I can't get the photos right. So it has to be in a corner, or kind of like what the station wagon is, where there's nothing around.
You know what? That station wagon's looking real cool right now. All right, let's go find a car.
Let's find a car.
This time, it was whatever cool car we could find, where we could frame a cool photo, but it just wasn't meant to be.
I think I renal shot.
Así es el fútbol, pollo.
Nos arruinó el shot como 5 veces, varias veces. All right, one more time. Métete, apúrate.
Jail bars on.
That's just what it is, bruh. Yeah. I'm not giving up. I'm just saying that this is a reality.
Turns out reality had other plans, because in all of the shuffling and the heat, our camera just straight died. But somehow we found it. We found the perfect car after all that struggle.
Best photo shoot.
Right?
After that, it was finally time to head back into the air conditioning. And yo, I was out. I was really out. A quick power nap and we were off again on the hunt for food. I'll be honest, getting food at this party is kind of a nightmare.
Have a contingency plan for your meals. Every single restaurant, 45-minute wait at the minimum. At the minimum.
So we're gonna go off campus to an Irish restaurant.
Yeah, which multiple people have said is pretty good.
So we left the Orleans, braving the elements to find a warm meal.
It's right there, but it's so hot that it feels like it's super far. There's no sidewalk.
I hope I don't get hit by a car.
You're gonna be right. Yeah.
I can just feel the heat radiating off the floor.
American infrastructure.
Hey, cállate.
Built for cars only.
We were too hungry to remember to take video at the restaurant, but here's some photos from Yelp so you can kind of check the vibes. The corned beef was actually pretty delicious. But if you thought we were done with the heat, not even close, because we headed back out to the car show to watch Dale Watson on the outdoor stage. The music was decent and there were quite a few people dancing and having a good time. But compared to previous years, turnout was actually really light, especially to what we've seen pre-COVID. For context, when we saw the Stray Cats in 2018, this place was packed and we were expecting more of a party out there. While it was a little bit of a bummer, we still got a little bit of wiggling done, checked out these dudes and their cool hair, and we were done with the heat once and for all, just in time for a costume change for the party I was the most excited for.
The glamour ball. I have no idea what it's even all about.
Yeah, we didn't do much research on this one, but we'll see.
And we're already like half an hour late.
Yeah, we're already late.
Fuck it.
It took us like hours to get ready.
Hey, don't come for me.
I say it took us.
By this time, the Orleans was absolutely popping, with everyone glammed up for an evening of dancing and good music. There were lines for drinks everywhere, and just getting around was tough. We actually got lost before we made it to the glamour ball, almost 45 minutes late. And as someone who sews, I was extremely excited for anything glamorous I got to see.
They're at capacity, so they have to let people in and out as it goes in and out.
We're at capacity. Maybe we can go in.
After all that waiting, well, we still didn't really know what we were supposed to be looking at. We assumed beautiful clothing. It wasn't for a while that we actually figured out what the ball was all about. A modeling show and tell with judges voting on the best look. There was a mix of true vintage and handmade pieces, with everyone sharing stories about what they were wearing and how they came to find that piece. Jose ended up getting a better view of the contestants because he had a camera and was able to get up close. As for me, I didn't really get to see or hear anything. And maybe I hyped it up in my head too much, but it was actually not that fun and kind of a letdown, which is crazy because it was my type of event.
What did you see in there?
Lots of very beautifully dressed people, but also I didn't get to see very much because it was very crowded and it was very noisy. So I'm assuming a lot of beautiful things, at least from the people that I was surrounded with, but really couldn't see the stage. I really couldn't hear them because of the amount of people.
At least I got an up-close view of the eventual winner, a dress with more peacock feathers than I'd ever seen in my life. But 2 bumper events back-to-back, rare at Viva, but it can happen.
All right, where are we going next?
Not sure yet, let's just wander.
And wander we did, admiring people's outfits and hair, zipping through the crowd until we landed in another event room, this time with live music and dancing, and just, it was so much dancing. But we didn't stay long since we didn't want to miss the next event, the Vintage Guitar Show. The line to get in was huge and you could tell people were excited. As soon as we found our seats, Jose ran off, admiring and oogling all the cool guitars at the guitar museum they had set up at the corner of the stage.
What did you see on the stage when you walked over there?
I guess a couple of guitars, you know.
Just a couple?
Yeah.
Jose was downplaying it, but he was actually the most stoked. Then the lights went down low and Deke's Guitar Geek show started, with Deke himself on stage with a 4-piece band.
1, 2, 3, 4!
Now, Deke Dickerson is a roots rocker and a vintage guitar collector who had his hand in playing country, rockabilly, hillbilly, blues, western swing, and of course, rock and roll. Above all else, he's an entertainer, having told the New York Times, "We wore our fingers off trying to put on a good show." And that he did. Not only did he play, but he invited guitars from every generation to the stage, from baby boomers to Gen Alpha, and everyone rocked out. Like, look at this guy shredding. Or this group that even Deke was impressed with. I also really like this family band with this kid who ate it up.
Yeah, homie's a pro. Takes years to be this good.
It goes to show that this type of music is for every generation. We also got to enjoy a music legend, Scotty Broyles, who came on stage with his electric mandolin. The crowd went absolutely wild for him. I'll be honest though, I was partied out at this point.
So I'm back in the room. It's 1:30 in the morning and I realize that I'm just not a night out anymore and 1:30 is way too late for me. I can't keep up with these parties, y'all. I am going to de-vintage, de-pin-up, and I'm going to sleep now.
Jose stayed downstairs and apparently he had a blast. He discovered a band called the Stomping Riffraffs who were visiting from Japan. Check out this footage from Rockabilly 40 who captured some of their set.
Yeah, their stage presence, music, and vibes were so dope.
Jose enjoyed the show so much that he didn't grab much footage after I left. The guitar show was clearly the highlight of the day for us and it blew our expectations out of the water. Being able to call it a wrap with so much talent was really special. But then it was off to bed to get ready for our final day at Viva.
Thank y'all for sticking around, friends. We really appreciate it.
We woke up on day 4 ready to hit one of the most iconic parties of the weekend, but we're immediately in for a rude awakening.
So we're trying to go to the pool party, and it's about 10:30 or so, and there's been people waiting out here since 5 in the morning.
I have no idea what this hallway looks like at 5 a.m., but judging by how long it took to get to the end of the line, maybe those people were onto something. Eventually we made it in, and it was absolutely popping. People were dressed up, having a good time, there was live music and fun flamingos, and it livened everything up. We found a spot next to the pool and settled in.
So the vibes here are start drinking without having breakfast yet, so we'll see how that shit turns out. But besides that, what do you think, Jose?
It's fun. It looks cool. We didn't get a chair, obviously, because we were super late. Like there were people here since like 6 in the morning. We showed up like at 10:30. So rightfully so, we don't deserve.
We don't deserve
the chair, but
we may do.
Yeah, we may do, and we're sitting here at the edge of the pool, which is still pretty cool. I'm gonna see if I can jump in later. How's your drink?
It's delicious, but I also still want like breakfast.
After a while, we got up, wandered the pool party, and it was just a blast. People were dancing, sunbathing, and enjoying the fruity cocktails, which made everyone super laid back and chill. Shout out to this guy dressed up as a tiki mask who was just selling the look. Absolutely loved it. But before we could wrap up, Jose had to make a splash because, of course.
Jose, how's the water?
It's so cold.
It's cold?
Yeah, it's really cold.
Low-key, I was hella nervous about dropping the camera in the water, but somehow we made it out of there to find food and a little bit more fun.
So it's been a long Viva, and we find out that what I'm about to grab right now is the last one.
I have to pull the camera back because it's that.
It's an actual fishnet, by the way.
Oh.
There's really only one thing left to do.
Of course, we had to get our penny slots on. I'll be honest, the moment I sit down, I automatically assume I've lost already. So it's more a game to see how long I can play, but you never know.
Big money, big money, big money. Abracadabra. There we go.
Whoa.
That seems like did something.
Yeah. I'm almost out of money though.
Already?
Already.
Dang it.
All right,
well,
cash out.
That took like less than a minute.
As expected, it was all going according to plan. Keep losing money.
Oh yeah, you gotta make rent. Coge la pata de la buena suerte.
Oh, mala suerte.
Oh, mala suerte.
That's it. I've lost all our money.
You were supposed to make rent.
For all of Jose's heckling, he also had to get in on it.
We're doing well.
Are you making back the money that I lost and the rent?
No, I'm making back the money that I just lost right before this.
In the end, we sort of came up, I guess.
Look at that. This is how it's done. With $5, now we're 14. We still need like a few more thousands to make rent. But this pata is a pata of luck.
A pata of luck?
Yes.
And speaking of luck, it was time for the biggest Viva showdown, the dance competition.
Rain, please.
If you recall earlier in this video, Jose and I do not know how to dance, but the people who show up for this, well, goals. While the competition was fierce, the event itself was a lot of fun. People ran out to the dance floor, the music played, and the judges whittled down the best performers. Once there were only a few people dancing, voting was decided by audience cheers. The competition itself was broken up into 3 sections. Strolling, which is essentially a line dance that you can flourish up and make your own. Bopping, which is a livelier dance and doesn't stick to a line but has more of a skipping feeling to it. And jiving, which is partnered and lends itself to vintage rock and roll. Of course, the jive competition was the one that everyone had been waiting for. There were easily 20 couples out there to start, eventually going down to 5 for the final vote. Some couples were very technically savvy, some had a lot of swagger, and some were up there just having a good time. It was a nail biter to find out who would win. People tried to pull out all the extra stops during the voting, but in the end, the couple who won were ecstatic and were invited up to the stage for their prize. They were my favorite for sure. As soon as the competition let up, we were off again, dropping in on different rooms at the Orleans to catch live music. The crowds were non-stop at this point, everyone with a beer in their hand, dancing to the music. We really loved this band who was visiting from Sweden. Their stage presence was just beyond. Also, I have no idea what was happening with the stand-up bass. By this point, the jive competition room had transformed to a dance floor for the rest of us, filling up to see Tammy Savoy. We dipped our head in for a few minutes, got up close to see Tammy, and then our camera died. So enjoy this phone footage from the end of her set. And that's Viva Las Vegas. Yes, our adventure at the Orleans is over, but the party must go on. Jose and I talked, and here are the top things you can't miss if you want the full rockabilly and vintage experience. First up, the burlesque showcase for the glitz and the glamour. Next, Deke's Guitar Geek show, especially if you're into rock and roll. And finally, the jive competition to see the rockabilly scene on full display. There were tons of events and parties we also didn't get to go to, including the Queen of the Car Show competition, burlesque bingo. We'll have to hit those up next time. Shout out to all the vintage vendors and live music. Depending on what sort of vibe you're looking for, you'll find the party for you.
If you like this video, you're really gonna love this one, where I made a 1940s style trench coat inspired by Casablanca. It was stunning. I can't wait for you to check it out. But with that said, like, share, subscribe, all the places, all the stuff, and I'll catch you in this video here.